I don't talk to people in the third call-outs.
I'm going to beat all you. I'm going to challenge Nick Walker when he has zero chance of actually winning. Coach Greg, and it's the aftermath of the Olympia, and so many competitors, they did far worse than expected. And so how did they react to their placings? And so today's video, I'm going to talk about the competitors that are expected to do well who simply blew it. How did they react to it?
First, we'll talk about Big Ramy. He was the first to really post his reaction.
First up, the most shocking of all, Big Ramy moving down to 5th place. And so how would he react? Was he mad, pissed off? Did he scream at the judges, yell politics? No. Big Ramy took it on the chin and congratulated Hattie for a deserved victory.
And I promise you guys, I will do my best to back again, stronger than ever.
He never faulted the judges and he said, I will be back. Winter, it's coming back. It was a mild winter this year, very mild, but next year, winter's gonna come with a storm and a vengeance. And in that, he does not promise victory. Simply, I'll be back better than last time. And so, does Big Ramy have to retire? He went from 1st to 5th. No, it's happened before. Samir Banout. He had gotten 1st, next year 5th. Does that mean you have to retire? Of course not. You can come back. You can get better. And does he have to win? I don't think so. Why does everyone have to win? If you improve, is that not a victory? And so perhaps Big Ramy comes back next year. Does he win? Possibly. But if he comes back next year and gets 3rd, is that not good enough? There can only be one victor, one champion in the world. And if he comes back and is the 3rd best champion in the world, to me, that is a victory. And so you have to respect a guy who doesn't want to retire just because he never won.
I don't promise to win or to lose because I respect the other people, but I will say I will do my best. Like what I did all my life, to be number one and to be number one again.
And so he's gone from 2nd to 6th to 1st. And so is it not possible that he could go from 1st to 5th to 1st again? Of course it is. All he has to do is listen to our advice. For example, Arnold Schwarzenegger said, drop 10 pounds, lose an inch on the waist.
And increase his calves by 1 inch. That's all he had to do all year long.
Big Ramy doesn't need any more size. He's got all the muscle he needs. He just needs more cardio, more dieting than last time. And so my suggestion, get yourself a bottle of GO2 Max, do more cardio, get more shredded, lose more weight than last time, and you could in fact get back to the top. And so you have to respect the guy. He's going to put in the work. He's promising to do his best to try and regain the title.
Now, next up in the news, Blessing Awodabu reacts to his Olympia placing.
And up next, Blessing Awubidu. He was literally calling out Nick Walker at the press conference, taking over the stage, screaming at the competitors, being an entertainer.
Freak! Look at the guy.
There is no business to be finished.
You talking?
And Nick's comeback was, I don't listen to guys in the 3rd call-out. Blessing ended up in the 4th call-out.
I don't talk to people in the third call-outs.
And so it looks really bad when you can't back up your statements. I'm not gonna lie, this one hurts, and I did cry already, knowing that I could be so much better, and that wasn't the boogeyman everyone knows. I'm not just a bodybuilder, I'm an entertainer, and I love to entertain bodybuilding fans, and I welcome all the hate and love that comes with it. And so he knows what he's doing. I don't for 1 second believe that he actually thought he could make the top 10. I believe he was just trolling the crowd, trying to get them worked up. He wants to be infamous. He wants to play the role of the bad guy. I'm going to beat all you. I'm going to challenge Nick Walker when he has zero chance of actually winning. And so after the results roll in, you have to eat your words. And so he didn't back it up. He didn't do as well as he said he would. And I don't think he ever will. But he knows that bodybuilding isn't just about being the best bodybuilder. If you want to make money, you also have to be an entertainer. And an entertainer he is. And so although he didn't place that well, he did the best he could with what he's got. Perhaps next year he'll come back a little bit better, maybe crack out a top 15 placement, but I don't see this guy as ever being in the top 10.
Next up in the news, we've got Michael Krizo reacting to his Olympia placing.
Up next, Michael Krizo in his first Olympia competition after switching over from another federation. This guy had all the talk, the only one that could stand next to Big Ramy as being the biggest guy in the competition. And many people felt this guy could make the first call out or at least make the top 10. But but he ended up in 12th place. And so what was his response? How did he feel about only making 12th place? 12th place in my Olympia debut. Thanks to all my sponsors. I'm very happy. Next year, bring new Crizzo and better place. Thanks for all the support. And so apparently he's very happy with that. And so perhaps the people that thought he'd make the first call out of the top 10 were all the other competitors or people talking about him. Personally, he was happy with 12th. It's his first Olympia. He brought the best package that he could for this show, and he needs time to hone down his posing and to develop his back and display it to full-on perfection. As it stands from the front, the guy looks great, but when he turns to the back, he does not have the detail and conditioning, the symmetry needed to place in the top 10. And so he says, look for me next year. I'm going to look to improve my placings, and I fully expect Crizzo to crack the top 10 next year.
And finally, there's one classic physique guy's reaction I wanted to add to this mix, Rough Diesel, because I think this was the biggest shock of a placing in classic physique.
And up next, Rough Diesel moved from second place at the Olympia and never made the top 6, never made the first call out. In my prediction video heading into the Olympia, I had Rough Diesel finishing 4th. However, I never thought he would come and compete so far off. People were saying he's bringing the exact same package as last year, and had he done that, I expect he would have in fact placed 4th. But he tried to add in too much size, tried to come in fuller. Didn't work. He was at the weigh-in, was a pound over, had to then make weight. And that extra weight, if it was all muscle, that would have been great. I'm sure he would have placed 4th. But it was not rock hard muscle. A lot of it was extra body fat. And by extra, I mean 1%. The difference between 4 and 5% body fat, it sounds like it's only 1%, but it's a quarter. It's 25% more fat. And so that little bit of extra body fat, 1 or 2 pounds, can make the difference between placing second and placing out of the first call out. After coming off my best placing of 6th back in 2017, in 18 I dropped back down 3 places to 9th. And instead of blaming others, the circumstances, I took full responsibility and fixed what I needed fixing. The next time I competed at the Mr. Olympia, I placed 2nd. I don't see setbacks as failures, but learning opportunities. Congrats to the top 5. A better version of Rough will see you next year. And so I fully expect he will not make this mistake again. He knows he has to bring the conditioning. Being a shorter guy, 5'5", only can weigh 180 pounds, he has an uphill battle. He cannot beat these guys based on size. He has to really nail the conditioning. He has an amazing routine. That combined with crazy conditioning, that is the only way the guy can crack the top 5 yet again. However, I don't think he could ever beat Chris, Ramon Dino, Urs. These guys are simply too tall, too much muscle. But I do think the guy has a great chance placing in the top 5 and making the first call out.
All right, so Mr. BS from Bodybuilding and BS is back to talk about Ian and Hunter's physique this weekend.
And so heading into the Olympia, Ian Valère said, "This is my best all-time package," was hoping to break the top 6. This was the toughest lineup in years. And so anyone who made the top 10 even, well, that is an amazing physique. Ian was saying his back was improved, that he was bigger, leaner than ever. However, on show day, he just didn't quite nail it. He had less detail in the back, and although it was still shredded, he never made it into the top 10. Shimmers of something a little more hopeful tonight. Still not the best Ian by any means, but brought some better fullness and color tonight, and at least made a final appearance that was a bit more respectable. Time to take some much-needed rest, enjoy Christmas, my wife and family, and then we'll see what is next. Thank you for the love and support. You make it feel worth it in these tough moments. And so clearly Ian knows he wasn't at his best. He's highly disappointed, and it's tough. You diet for 3 or 4 months, and he never brought a better package, and he fell in placings, never making the top 10. And it's got to be hard. He clearly gave it his best shot, but it simply wasn't good enough. And not every year can you absolutely nail it. However, I'm sure it's very hard because going into the show, he felt he had his best package, but on show day, he just wasn't able to present it. And last but not least, Hunter Labrada falling far down in placings. Last year, he beat Nick Walker. This year, not even close. And Hunter, he simply doesn't bring the conditioning. The back in particular does not have the detail, size, fullness that it needs. And his diet on the Rice Krispie treats and drinking down all those shakes, I just think it's not good enough. He needs to work on his diet and his conditioning. And so in preparation for this show, Hunter said, My back, night and day better than last year. I've nailed the conditioning. Last year I was a little soft. This year, it's a night and day difference. My back gonna blow you away. I'm showing something different. And yeah, it was something different. It was worse. And so how is it that you can think in your head a day before the Olympia that you're going to bring your best package ever, and the next day you simply don't deliver? Personally, this is what I think. I think they have too many yes men. Yes men in their corner saying, you look amazing. You're going to place top 3. You look undeniable. When in fact, they should be saying, you need more cardio. You need to do what that coach Greg says. You need low calorie dense foods. You need to do more cardio. Perhaps you need GO2 max. You don't have the energy. You don't feel good enough. Well, take some GO2 max. We'll be able to do more cardio than last time at a higher pace. It's been shown in research, human studies, that the stuff actually works. So well, in fact, that the FDA banning the main ingredient NMN. So if you want to get GO2 Max, click the link in description. It is 10% off. Use code Greg. And so Hunter simply needs to come back leaner. Get on an actual diet, come in shredded, and you will most certainly move up the ranks and place in that first call out. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm. Please watch one of the bloops. Follow me on Instagram, Greg Doucette IP Pro. Don't forget about the cookbooks, training books, the Circle Diet book, coaching plans by me and my team, phone consults, comment for the algo, and until next time, I am out.